So Orla, thank you so much for agreeing to do this. I know you're in the middle of the program, and it's such a pleasure to hear your story and what you're achieving so far. So thank you so much for agreeing to share with us. So can you share with us a little bit about did you have any concerns before starting the process?
Yeah, I definitely had a lot of concerns. Like, I had come across The Secret years ago, and I've read many books. I've read Think and Grow Rich, and I definitely understood them all. I thought they were fantastic information, and my God, I found a few car parking spaces after The Secret, but it never lasted very long. So I was thinking, is this just more of the same? Will I just get involved in this, and then after a couple of weeks, like, I'm just going to flame out like other things and just not get anywhere? And can I afford this? And will I even be able to achieve anything? Because I've done so many things already. So yeah, I had a lot of concerns. Yeah.
A lot of analysis.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very good. And can you share with us a little bit about what were you doing when you started? What was your life like? A little bit about that.
Sure. I am a web developer, and I'm pretty successful web developer. I do quite well, but like all freelancers, I'm sure people will understand that you have to kind of do everything yourself. So I can only work on one project essentially at a time, and so I was constantly working project to project, constantly stressed out, doing everything from the sales to the sales, design, the marketing, the SEO, the maintenance, I mean the whole spectrum, and trying to do it all myself. So very stressed out, feeling like I was getting absolutely nowhere, and yet having achieved a lot and just on a wheel like a hamster or something.
Yeah. And what did you actually want to achieve from the course?
The main thing I wanted to achieve was complete financial and location independence. I've always wanted to travel. I even tested working away from home. I lived in Berlin for a month and lived in Granada for a month, and it was just very, very difficult when you're constantly trying to do everything, not giving up parts of your business, which is just so silly, you know, the things that other people could have done well. I still needed to be on the phone the whole time. I needed to be doing all the design. I needed to be doing all the development. So it didn't fully work out for me, but I had taken a step.
Yeah. And what do you think was actually, what was stopping you from having that in life before you started the course?
Oh God, so many things. Fear, like it's fear. I think fear is the root of absolutely everything. Fear of failure was a huge one, absolutely huge. Like, people say, you know, the failure is good, but I certainly don't know about everywhere else, but in Ireland, those are just words a lot of the time, because people are very judgmental and they definitely don't think failure is good a lot of the time. But I just had to learn to essentially not care what people think a certain amount when it comes to failure, because nobody who ever succeeded at anything got there without taking risk of failure. And a hell of a lot of people who did succeed have failed a hell of a lot of times.
Very good. And what can you share with us? I mean, you're still in the middle of the program, but it's actually very spontaneous. I was talking to Orla yesterday, and she's like, I broke through the terror barrier, and I'm like, oh my God, can you please share with people? So you're in the middle of the program, but you're already achieving huge progress and huge results. Would you mind sharing with people what is it that you've actually achieved so far?
Yeah, so I've got a couple of things. I mean, there's personal and business things. So I suppose on the personal front, since I started the program, I've lost like 1.5 stone in weight, and it was a huge issue for me. I really wasn't confident in myself, and I had, you know, definitely enjoyed food more than I was enjoying my appearance at the time. So I'm delighted with that. I also had this blog that I ran for years, which I really love. Ridiculously kitschy and niche, to do with Irish cottages, renovating them, and it was just so, it has gone so old, and I was almost afraid of it at this stage. I'm a web developer, and it was the worst website I'd say I've ever seen. And after years of talking about redeveloping it and doing it and getting it done and all the rest of it, finally a couple of days ago I launched a completely new site. I put all of my photography up, and I have a calendar for sale. So I mean, it's a massive thing for me, and a huge step towards, again, location independence, breaking through that. And the third thing is that I'm a web developer, as I said already. And as I developed and you know, started working more and more with larger companies, I saw that a website that I was building for people, it needed to be a hell of a lot more than just a website. It needed SEO, it needed marketing, it needed an awful lot put into it. And that meant that I took a lot more time to do that type of work, and I wasn't working with the same type of clients I was before, like startups and people with great ideas and things like that, because I just couldn't afford to do work at that price. So I decided to create a course, and this was a big leap for me to try and put this all out there, to do a course which I'm the start date next November 16th, which is a month-long course which will take people through the entire process, just a 10-minute video every day to take people through the process. And at the end of it, they will have a brand, a marketing plan, and a website, so that they will have created themselves, so they'll be able to empower themselves to create the business they want to create. So I'm going to do a pilot course on that instead of making it this big, crazy, hard to achieve goal of a perfect end product. So I'm just going to take on 5 people to just get the pilot product done, and then I'll learn a lot from them, and they will get a lot of feedback from me as well.
Brilliant. And you also said that you've started outsourcing. So pretty much you're hiring people finally, and you also have a lot more time, you're a lot more productive, right?
Yeah, huge fear of mine, outsourcing. I'm definitely one of these kind of women who's like, I have to do it all myself, like, and nobody can do it better than I'll do it or whatever, which is pure silliness. It's ridiculous. I mean, I was a slave to my emails, like, ping, ping, oh my God, I must fix this or I must fix that. You know, in times that I didn't have, like even today, I mean, I'm getting there and I'm starting to get people involved. It's going to take a little time, it's all a process. But even today, I'm traveling, like I have a flight at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I had an issue on a website today, so everything had to be thrown aside and just jump straight in and try and fix that issue on a site for somebody that I just knew quite well. But if I had somebody there, you know, in this time, and I didn't have time, I could just say, right, can you just take care of that?
Yeah.
And life would be a lot smoother. So
and that's what you're getting.
That's
right?
what my goal is.
Brilliant, brilliant. And so, can you just share what is the biggest fear that you had to overcome in order for you to? Because what you're effectively doing, you're creating multiple streams of income, right? Things that can run really without you, and you're getting employees, so you're going to have a lot more time freedom and financial freedom.
Yeah.
And so, what is the biggest fear that you had to overcome in order to do this?
Definitely my biggest fear is being seen, funnily enough. I've always been hiding behind websites, hiding behind projects, hiding behind absolutely everything. For absolutely years, I was an exceptionally boisterous child, right? So really like stuck in everything and always getting in trouble and always, the troublesome child basically. Just curious, I guess, but you know, I spent my whole childhood being told, be a good girl, you know, be like the other girls. Will you just quiet down? Will you just relax? You don't need to climb on that glass table, you know, basically. So I definitely learned to stop, you know, all these thoughts and creativity and the things that I wanted to do. I learned how to do them in private and keep them away from everybody else's eyes. So it's been the same with my projects. So we've been releasing Cottageology the last day, actually putting it on my private Facebook page. Like, I built all these websites and I never publicise any of them. To my family, friends, relatives. It was a huge terror barrier to put it out there. I shook for about a half an hour after putting it out there. I mean, nothing, what was going to happen? Like, you know, you put a website up there.
But you also stopped, you stopped yourself from the income, and you stopped other people from using your services a little bit, so congratulations. And last but not least, what would you say to people in this room who consider having the consultation, who consider doing the course for themselves? What would your message be to them?
I would definitely consider having the consultation. I'm sure, like, even after tonight, a lot of you guys would have, like, you know, gotten great information from what was on the sheets even, but having a chat and just, it does take somebody outside of you to push you on. I had seen The Secret, I had read all the books and all the rest of it, and yet I continued making the same mistakes year after year. Over the last few years, I had all the skills, I had all the knowledge, and for some reason I just never was able to put them into action. You know, I just didn't have the self-belief. I had all these self-limiting beliefs that I didn't even realise existed until I started doing the daily work every single day and being pushed by my accountability partner and watching other people achieve. So yeah.
Thank you so much. That's really cool. Thank you. Let's give her